Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video we're going to be talking about an extremely controversial and infamous product. I'm sure by the title of this video, of course, you know what I'm talking about. There have been 1,000,001 videos on this product at this point, and that would be the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation. Now, originally, everyone was really excited about this launch because the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer was a huge hit of 2017, a huge hit. This is actually my favorite concealer of all time. It is amazing. So that's why everyone was super excited to see what the Shape Tape Foundation would be like. And then the foundation swatches were released, as you can see right here. And everyone was like, what is that? What is going on? So we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's what we're going to be doing in today's video, talking about the Shape Tape Foundation. They came out with two formulas. They came out with a matte formula and a hydrating formula, and each formula offers 15 shades. That is all. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. We're going to be reviewing it and going in depth and talking about everything. And that includes the limited shade range. So if you are excited about today's video, then please give this video a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any videos that I post. And then also, of course, please don't forget to follow me on all of my social media sites, which is right over here. And you can also find them in the description box below as well, because I like staying in touch with you guys and talking to you. A lot of you like to talk to me on Snapchat and on Instagram, which is so much fun. So let's continue to do that and build our community. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get in to the video. All right, so before jumping into actually testing out the product, you already know that I'm going to be talking about the shade range because I have a platform. Even though it's not as large as some other YouTubers, I'm going to use my platform the way I want to because this is my channel after all. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the shade range and let's have a chat for a second. So as you know, 15 shades in each formula. They have a hydrating formula, they have a matte formula, and there are 15 shades in each formula. So I showed you guys this swatch at the beginning of the video, but here it is again. Right here, you can see that. So this swatch really hit the beauty community by storm because there were like 12 different variations of white shades or lighter shades, and then there were like 2 medium and 2 dark shades. My thoughts on this, for whatever it's worth, I don't know what Tarte was thinking when they decided that this was the shade range that they thought was acceptable. You know, it's not, obviously. In my opinion, there are people that come in all different shapes, sizes, colors that are beautiful and that deserve to have a shade for themselves. You know what I mean? I spoke to my best friend about this because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you watched my Bean Boozled challenge and if you watched my Whisper challenge, which I'll leave those 2 videos linked below, my best friend is Black. And I had a conversation with her about this, and I was like, Tyler, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think when you look at this photo? How do you feel? Because I am fully aware that I don't know the struggle. I'm aware of that. I don't know what it's like to go, you know, into a makeup store, whether it be Sephora, Ulta, whatever, and not find my foundation shade. I don't know what that is like. However, I would not want to imagine what that is like. So for people of color, and I say people of color rather than women of color because both men and women wear makeup, right? So it's just not okay. So I asked if it was okay to share her thoughts in the video, and she said, yeah, of course, that's not a problem. So when her and I were talking, she looked at the shade range and she did what everyone did, which was, what is this? She would not be able to find her shade at all, you know? And, you know, when I was talking with her, I said to her, like, I can't imagine going up and wanting to test out a foundation, being super excited about a product and not being able to find your shade, because there's no way they would have her shade in that foundation. And she agreed. She was like, yeah, I would not be able to have my shade, and I think it's ridiculous. And I also think that if a big brand like Tarte is going to release a foundation, but they weren't 100% ready to do so, then what they should have done is waited until they were completely ready to make sure everything was inclusive for everyone and every skin color, and then release it as a whole. Because obviously, in my opinion, this is just bad business. You know what I mean? It's bad business. And it sucks because I love Tarte as a brand. I really, really do. I love Tarte. A lot of their products work for me because I have sensitive skin and they cater to that, you know? So I really love that brand. But this, like, it puts a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, a lot. And so I know that Tarte went on their Instagram story. They didn't respond for like a day and a half, and then they finally went on their Instagram story. And I'll read to you what they posted in just a second, and I'll have like screenshots right here for you guys to see. But before I do that, I do want to mention that Tarte went on their Twitter, which is what directed me to their Instagram story. And they said, "We want to let you know that we hear you. We're reading all of your tweets and comments and have addressed them on our IG stories." So the story that Tarte put out on Instagram is they were basically posting a whole bunch of tweets from influencers of everyone's opinions on this. And then they stated, "We want to let you know we hear you. You all know by now that we revealed our much anticipated Shape Tape foundation, and the final shade range that we launched was definitely not a full representation of all of you. It may be too little too late, but we can assure you this was not meant in any kind of malicious way. We all just got so caught up in hashtag Shape Tape Nation and seeing your tweets asking for it. We wanted to get the product out as fast as possible, and we made the decision to move forward before all of the shades were ready to go. We know there is no excuse, and we take full responsibility for launching this way. We lost sight of what's really important in this industry, and for those who feel alienated in our community, we want to personally apologize. We're doing everything in our power to bring those unfinished shades to market as fast as we can at any cost. We can and will do better." So that is how they ended their Instagram story addressing the the small shade range. And I personally, in my opinion, it's like a half-assed apology. You know what I mean? It really is. I think that they should have came out in a video and addressed it. I think that they should have came out in a video on their Instagram and addressed it and posted something about it on Twitter. And instead of just saying, "Hey, we posted an Instagram story and here it is," you know? I can understand how everyone was excited for the Shape Tape Foundation, but from a business perspective, I personally don't think that there was any reason why they couldn't hold back and make sure that the foundation itself was inclusive for everyone, and then release everything all at once. Because what happens is people of color, I've seen other people's videos, I've read people's tweets, and I'm seeing that, it puts a sour taste in everyone's mouth who wants to potentially get it that is a person of color. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure you include everyone all at once. That's my piece of advice, Tarte. Make sure you are inclusive and include everyone all at once. I will say that the Tarte Shape Tape offers a nice variety of shades in their concealer. So I wasn't sure why they decided to push the go button and release so many fair shades, and they almost all look the same in my opinion. And then release 2 medium shades and 2 dark shades. Everything needs to be released all at once. And I'm sure the general public would have been more than happy to have waited for that release and then purchase it when everything was released all at once. So those are my thoughts on that. I am sorry to those of you that feel like, you don't want to purchase a foundation when they finally do release the shades because it's puts a sour taste in your mouth. And B, for those of you that looked at that and thought, what the hell? Like, where's my shade? I feel really, really bad about that. And again, I know that I do not know what it's like to go into a store and not find my shade. I'm aware of that. I know that. But I feel for those of you that have that feeling or have experienced that before, Now, one last thing that I wanted to mention, because I am on Ulta's site right now, because this is exclusively sold at Ulta. So I bought my foundation on Ulta, and what's interesting is that now the foundation is no longer available on Ulta's site. It says, sorry for the delay. We've decided this product lineup isn't quite ready yet. We'll let you know when it's ready to go. So, Ulta, it looks like they decided to completely pull the foundation as a whole and not sell it at this moment until the rest of the shades are available. So I can appreciate that, and I do like that. But what's interesting is that Tarte still has it on their website for sale as of now. So I'm not sure what really that means. I have no idea. I kind of wish Tarte did the same thing as Ulta and just kind of pull the foundation and then release it again when every single shade has been included. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But I'm going to read you what the description is of the foundation. So just to let you know, it does come in a matte formula and a hydrating formula, and I only got the hydrating formula because I have super dry skin. Matte foundations on me typically don't do well unless I add a beauty oil to them or something of this sort, and I pretty much change the foundation. In most cases, matte foundations just don't work for my skin because it is so dry, and especially because it's wintertime right now. So I just decided to get the hydrating foundation. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. And this is what it looks like right here. It is the same applicator as the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, as you can see. And I'll compare the two together. That way we can kind of take a look at the size difference. So here is a good representation of the difference in sizes for the wands. If you already have the concealer, or if you don't, now you know. So this hydrating formula and the matte formula does retail for $39. And it is supposed to be a full coverage foundation, a full coverage hydrating foundation, which is what drew me to it immediately. I was like, hydrating and full coverage? What? Yes, sign me up. So it says that the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation provides the same rich, creamy full coverage as the Shape Tape Concealer in a skin smoothing weightless gel. The collagen hyaluronic acid packed formula continuously hydrates while helping to plump skin and refine pores without creasing, caking, or fading for 12 hours. It is supposed to be a long-wearing luminous finish, and this is good for all skin types. And it has a whole bunch of information that, like, I mean, I don't want to bore you guys because I've already spoken enough. So I just want to hop right in. The shade that I got is light medium sand. And this, by the way, has 1 fluid ounce, which is pretty standard for foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in so we can get a closer look at the application and see how this wears. And we're also going to be testing out the 2 tools that they offered with it. They have this paddle brush that I decided to get. And they also have their sponge. I did already wet it, which is why, like, it looks a lot bigger than what it does when you actually get it. So let's go ahead, zoom you guys in, and we will apply the foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply one side using the sponge, and then the other side using the paddle brush. I normally do not ever apply my foundation with this kind of a tool just because I do have dry skin and sometimes they can kind of pick up on dry patches. Hopefully that won't be the case with this, but what I do want to say is don't think you need to get these 2 tools in order for this foundation to work. You can use a beauty blender, you can use whatever tool you want. I just like to show you guys what is offered and what the foundation will look like with these 2 applicators. So how I'm going to apply this is I'm going to do, like I said, one side. Just like this. This looks really yellow. Hopefully it doesn't look like that when I blend it all out. Now, what I will say about the applicator is I really don't mind it because it is exactly like the Shape Tape Concealer. So I do like it. The only thing is, if you are a working makeup artist, I do worry about how sanitary it could be continuously dipping this back in. And I will say this whole having to dip back in, it is a little annoying because it doesn't really pick up that much product, but I don't hate the applicator. I really don't. So it does feel really nice on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It actually has like, it feels kind of cooling on the skin, which I always like because I do have dry skin and sometimes that helps. So I'm going to blend this in now with the sponge. All right, so here's one side of my face blended out with the sponge here. I don't mind the shade. It's coming off a little bit yellow, but in person it actually matches my neck pretty well. Um, you can see it has that nice luminous sheen to the skin, which I like. It's really lightweight on the skin. It was very easy to blend out. And I actually like the coverage. I do. Now, I don't think that this is a full coverage foundation. I think off the bat, it's more so of a medium coverage. I'm curious to see how buildable it is, so we'll test that out in a bit. But this is the coverage for this side of my face, and now we can compare this side. Huge difference. We can see like the redness on my skin. It's not really textured because I've been moisturizing pretty well, but we can see the redness on my skin here, and here it's virtually gone. I did see some other videos of people saying that it was like a light to medium coverage, and I personally don't think so. I think it's more so of a medium coverage hydrating foundation, but that's just my opinion because I had quite a bit of redness over here, and we can see just with, you know, doing one layer that canceled out the majority of the redness. I do like the sheen, and it does make my skin look healthy. So now that that's blended out, we're going to take this applicator here, which is their Paddle to Perfection foundation brush. So just to let you know the price on this little guy right here, this is $18, and then the Paddle to Perfection foundation brush is $28. So it is a $10 difference. Like I said earlier, I normally do not apply my foundation with these kinds of sponges because they normally tend to pick up on drier areas. So that's just my personal opinion, but we're going to try it out. I will say it is very soft. It's pretty small too. Pretty small, and the bristles are very soft. So I'm hopeful. All right, so here we go. We're going to blend this in to the skin as much as we can. Yeah, no. I am not, you see like the flakiness right here, it didn't have that before. I do not like this at all. Not at all. I feel like it's pushing the product around rather than it blending into my skin. Like you can see the difference. This looks very, very blended, and this just, I'm just not loving the way this looks at all. The only thing I will say that is kind of nice about it is you can get right into the corner of the eye and the corner of the nose, which sometimes can be a little bit more difficult with sponges. But I'll take a sponge over this kind of applicator any day of the week because, like, do you see it kind of just moves the product around? It doesn't actually have it sit into the skin. So yeah, this I don't like. But again, I normally do not apply my foundations with this kind of a brush anyway, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you have normal to dry skin. I don't think you're going to like this at all because as you can see, it kind of picked up on a dry patch here that honestly I really didn't have before. So yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't like it. And up close, yeah, it didn't even do that good of a job blending out the foundation. So I'm going to blend everything else out with the sponge and just push everything into the skin. All right, so this is the side that was applied originally with this brush here, which I, again, do not like. And you can see that even the coverage is not as good as it is actually with the sponge, which is this side. This just looks a lot more flawless. So what I'm curious to do, I want to know how buildable this foundation is. So I'm actually going to do a second layer on my skin and see if it disrupts, if anything weird happens. And I'm going to do that all over my entire face using the sponge because we are not going to go back in with the other applicator. Oh yeah, this gives, I really, really like the appearance of how this is looking on the skin a lot. And you definitely can layer this. So this is a medium to buildable coverage foundation for sure. I really like this. I do. And what I also like is this doesn't dry quickly. I did see reviews of the matte foundation and of the matte formula in this foundation. And what I noticed is a lot of people were saying that it dries super quickly. This doesn't do that at all. Not at all. Obviously this is the hydrating formula, but this doesn't do that, which I like. I like that because you're not going to have the issue of having a hard time blending out the foundation and it clinging on to any kind of patches or anything like that on the skin. You can really have a nice application when it's all said and done. So I love it when foundations don't dry quickly. All right, so this is what the second layer looks like. I really like this a lot. I do. The foundation itself is great. It really is. It's just a shame that the formula is great. I happen to like it, but then they had, you know, the whole drama of the shade range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts. I'll let you know if the concealer disrupted anything. My camera is actually getting really hot right now. There's like a little temperature thing on the side that you guys can't see, but I can see it on my viewfinder. So I'm going to let my camera have a rest for a minute. I'll let you know what happened with the concealer, let you know everything, and then I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts on the foundation. All right, so I am back, and as you guys can see, the foundation is on my skin along with the rest of my makeup completed. And I have to say, I mean, I really do like the Tarte Shape Tape foundation in the hydrating formula. I really do. It was great. It was very easy to blend out. It doesn't cake up on the skin. It doesn't cling to dry patches. It gives the skin a nice luminous and dewy finish, which I really enjoy. And overall, I mean, I just love the way this was. When I was applying my concealer, I didn't notice anything disrupting the foundation. So the concealer did not disrupt the foundation. And I mean, it is a beautiful foundation. That is just my opinion. Here's what I'm going to say about this tool here. Personally, you don't need this at all. I honestly don't recommend this. I didn't like it. It glides the foundation over the skin instead of having it sink into the skin that a normal sponge or beauty blender would do for you. So I just didn't like this at all. It does not suit my dry skin. So I don't know how this is going to work on oily skin, but for me, I did not like it. The sponge, however, I really enjoyed a lot. When I was applying my concealer, I found it very easy to kind of get into the corners here and get around the nose, which are normal areas for us that we have difficult times with. And I liked when I was applying my powder to set my concealer. There's a flat side here, like it's completely flat. And I really liked that to kind of just have everything sink into my skin. So I actually do like this sponge a lot. Do I think it's necessary to have to work with the foundation? No, I don't. But I really did like this. So there's that. But back to the foundation. I really did like it a lot. I did. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about the foundation itself because it worked. It worked really well. I liked that it was a medium buildable coverage hydrating foundation. And I do like this for normal to dry skin. Of course, I would not recommend this for oily skin. It's going to be too slick on the skin. And if you are oily and you want to try this, you're going to need to set this with quite a bit of powder because it does give you that luminous look and it may move around if you are oily. Overall, though, do I recommend the foundation? I mean, it's a difficult one because I liked the foundation, so I say if you want to try it, go ahead and try it. However, it's hard for me to really give it my honest, full approval simply for the 15 shades that is offered in each formula, you know? So for that reason, what I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to let you be the judge of what you want to do. So if you want to try this despite the foundation range, then by all means, please do. And if not, because of the foundation and you don't want to stand by a product because of the 15 shades and the smaller amount of shades that it has, then I also understand that too. And I say pass on it and worry about, you know, a different foundation that you are interested in. So I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that. But overall, the formula itself does work. I do enjoy it. Of course, I can't speak for the matte formula because I did not try that today. I wanted to focus on the hydrating formula simply because my skin is so dry. So those are my thoughts for the foundation and these two applicators here. So I hope that you guys enjoy. That is all I have to say, except for the fact that I love you guys. Thank you so much for keeping up with me. I really appreciate it. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below if you have not subscribed already. And if you are subscribed, definitely make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I've posted a new video. And last but not least, make sure you follow me on all of my social media sites. That will be in this corner right here. And so that is about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next video. Bye.